Ladies and gentlemen, I am once again joined by the great Neblime to bring you an excellent ZVZ series, or ZVZ, depending on where in the world you are. How you doing, Neblime?
Well, I am in Z Town over here in Australia,
That's
but
right.
I'm doing good.
That's right.
I can't wait for this match. You know, this match is particularly exciting for me because I've been trying to, help out jakulangski, train him up, get him ready because I want to see him qualify, And AOT also I know from Brutal, of course, and we've been playing a bit. I wouldn't say I exactly introduced him to it, but I helped him practice some Zerg vs. Zerg before.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how this one shakes out.
You know, as a point of contention very early on, I'll just point out that Art of Turtle believes Zerg is the hardest race in Cosmonarchy, and everybody else seems to disagree with him. So it's kind of funny, but...
I mean, that's pretty standard, isn't it? People say the race they play is the hardest,
yes.
And you've got to ask, well, why are you playing the hardest one?
Yeah, I guess they're just
why
that
didn't you play the strongest one?
Yeah. Well, that's what Urbman once told me. I was asking him if he wanted to play as Zerg, because obviously that's his main race in StarCraft 1, and he's like, actually, I just want to be OP. And I was like, all right, a champion mindset for him.
I respect it. Yeah, exactly. If you want to win, play the race that's going to win.
That's right. So, hey, you know what? We'll see what ends up happening. I think there's arguments to be made for all the races, but of course, we have to focus in on Zerg because that's it. That's all we got. Art of Turtle versus jakulangski. You gotta say, Jack comes out of nowhere, practices up against you, shows off his creativity with the degen Zerg strat, and then ever since then, it feels like he's mostly just picked up things based on practice, you would say?
Definitely. Well, look, you got to give him a lot of credit, right? Because he tries quite hard. He's very eager to learn about the game. And like you say, we've been practicing a lot. So yeah, he's definitely keen to get in. When I suggested you're going to sign up for Acropolis, he'd already signed up.
Yes, yeah.
So he wants it. He's hungry for it. And looking at the bracket so far, first he 2-0s Alexander, which Alexander definitely not one of our top players, but I mean if you're coming in, this is your first tournament appearance, solid result.
Yep.
2-1's BDB. And, we've seen BDB with some crazy... I don't even know if you can call them upsets at this point. BDB can take down anyone. I mean, I lost to the one-base Solarian from BDB, so...
Yeah, he's got strats. He's got angles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So beating him in a series is significant, I would say. And that those two matches take him to the upper qual. So I think jakulangski definitely coming out swinging here. Art of Turtle, on the other hand, right? Very solid, experienced Brood War player, of course. 2-0's Taco Cake in his first round. So once again, it shows that you're coming in here and you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah, listen, Taco Cake has turned into a bit of a revelation in that lower bracket. He's actually awaiting the loser of this match in our final qualification bout. So thinking about Taco Cake running through a murderer's row, we'll talk about him a little bit later on, obviously, because we'll cast a series with him involved. But I got to tell you that based on what I've seen so far, the fact that Art of Turtle comes in and 2-0s him, you actually spectated that game. Can you say any results about that? Because that's another similar matchup, ZVZ.
Yeah, I don't really remember it that well now, but none of the games went super long. That's not to say it was AOT just 7-pulled them or something. Okay. But I think AOT tended to just get the upper hand through sort of army decisions, if you like when to attack or not, and just superior macro. I have to say, comparing Taco Cake and Art of Turtle's macro is just far superior. So any game that doesn't end with some kind of cheese, I feel like AOT would take him there.
Okay, gotcha.
So AOT definitely showing, his solid skills from Brood War coming across. Now, that said, I feel like a flaw here for Art of Turtle is that he has not had the time to explore a lot of game situations later, a lot of the units later, because, not every game goes to tier 2, very few games go to tier 3. Now, after AOT, he got a walkover, so we didn't get any other data about how he's doing. But I played him a lot, and I think I probably already said that I'm probably going to regret him showing up because he might be a competitor for me later in the tournament. So he's very scary. You gotta favor him, to be honest. jakulangski knows the project better, but mechanics-wise, just general intensity of play, Art of Turtle's really strong.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And it's funny because I remember before this most recent cast we did going over Newt versus 3Crow, obviously in that series, your commentary indicated that you think Newt could actually win the whole thing depending on, maybe the group draw, the playoffs draw. But if we're talking about Art of Turtle, you think he also could end up becoming a contender if he plays himself into some familiarity about those mid-game situations?
Well, that's the way to put it. I don't think he will win Acropolis, but he could be a contender, put it that way.
Okay.
I could see him getting to the semifinals and the finals, depending who his opponents are. But I don't think he could win the whole thing. But, he's here to show me what he can do, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm excited. We do open up on the Purgatory. Remember that as this is a best of 5, each player was able to ban, in the case of Art of Turtle, 2 maps. In the case of jakulangski, 1 map, because Art of Turtle was the higher seed. But Jack then picks the starter. So we come onto the Purgatory, and I figure we're about ready to get started. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll talk about the bans in-game.
Sure, sounds good to me. Rolling into the Purgatory, it's a map by Veek7. It's not a map that we actually see too often. Most of the time it feels like it ends up being banned out. Now Art of Turtle will be in the bottom right, and jakulangski in the top left. GLHF firing off, and will Art of Turtle respond? The first little bit of contention between our players.
There it is. No, Art of Turtle's a pretty mana guy in general, I would say. You know, all the people we have hanging out in the No Frauds Cup Discord, you know, he's not complaining about balance the least, but in his games, he's pretty mana, I would say.
Okay, there you go.
jakulangski, though, extremely so. But look, I want to say a couple of things about jakulangski here as well. Oh, he's going for the gas already, so we're going to see it. But about this degen's gripe, it's a great innovation that I believe he's the first one to come up with, just opening that way straight up, where you're just going to throw down that K-Grid and defend. But it also shows a lot about him as a player. In general, he really would rather, like, sort of get the defense as a macro up. Oh my god, what is he doing?
All right, he's going to go for the pool. Is this a fast drop, do you think?
No, there's no way. I think he's just going to get the K-Grid low ground anyway, but this is just in case it's like a really early pool. I don't know, I'm confused by this.
Yeah.
There's no time for no. We can't talk about anything. Already stuff's happening.
I know. Well, listen, the pool is coming online faster for Jack than his opponent. So Art, despite not harvesting Vespian until after the pool, you know, this could actually be really interesting. Is this going to be a fast lake, do you think? Like upgraded pool for Art?
For AOT, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't want to be rude, but quite frankly, I think it's just because he's kind of new to CMBW. I don't think it's actually that good.
Okay.
Look, if your opponent is like blindsided by it, of course you just kill.
Oh no, he's also doing the Avaleth play. That's what.
Okay, all right. Double degen. But is Jack just going to drop here? I think he is.
He's actually going for it.
AOT just going for degen here, he's going to put the K-Grid down and not make many units. This could be huge.
I think so. Honestly, this stands a really good chance of surprising AOT. The most he can do with this K-Grint is, well, where's he headed with
No, he's attacking with it? Okay, no, this is a bit silly. Look, the only way this is good is if jakulangski just, like, drops the ball and doesn't notice it, basically. Because, like, Drolefs will be able to cancel that if they pull enough. Unless he's going to, like, put it at the natural or something crazy like that. Oh, there goes that Drolef. Yeah, it's unfortunate for jakulangski, actually, because AOT didn't scout. And it's not actually going to matter that he didn't scout because he's just committing to this drop anyway. Whereas jakulangski did, so that's a draw left he loses there.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Okay, it looks like as these Quasilisks continue to take to the field, and you'll enjoy the celebration, little cat ears they've got for April Fools. Don't worry. Don't worry, that's a regular occurrence here at the No Frauds Club. We have very silly things. Now, the K-Grid is going to come on in, and I don't actually know if Jack is going to have any units in accordance. He's got the ramp. That's a good initial start.
Well, Drolef will be fine. If he holds the Quas off on the map, Drolef can kill the K-Grid in his base, and this drop could do huge damage. I think jakulangski's been pretty good as long as he notices that there's a drop going down his main.
Yeah.
He may or may not.
Oh, narrowly misses out on a third worker kill there. Back over here, we do have the K-Grint landing. It is being microed, so instantaneously turns into a circuit. We've got 7 Quasilisks on the front line.
Oh, he's not
actually a pretty competitive army here, and all of the workers are going across the map.
jakulangski not pulling. I think he might have already missed his chance. Actually, this might be game losing, because if that it finishes now. It's got so much more health, it's got more armor. What are you going to do about that? Quasilisk will be useless.
I know, yeah, in Hot Pursuit too, you know, this is looking really dire for Jack all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's one of these things. The game's sort of decided by a matter of seconds there. If he pulled the Drolef instantly, no problem. I think jakulangski just wins the game straight up. But now, I don't really see what he can do. Now, AOT is also not mining. And jakulangski has a lot of money to make Zephyrs. Like, 6 Zephyrs would deal with this, no problem. The problem is, AOT can come back pretty easily and clean this up at least. And then he'll be back in the game. And you know what? I guess jakulangski cleaned this up. And we just kind of be at a normal game then.
I can't believe it. Yeah, we're back on 8v8 in terms of the worker count. And there's been a little bit of economic disruption. Jack does have more resources in the bank.
More money in the bank, and he's still denying money. If he gets a couple more Drolef, he's in a really good position, but he's not microing very well here. He does focus a Drolef. That's very nice. He needs to save that overleft. You really want to keep that.
I know, yeah. It's like absorbing some of the A move from the Quasis, but other than that...
huge, actually.
Yeah.
He's actually quite good at that against Quasis, so it might have actually been worth it to do it that way. Look, the way I play, I'd rather have picked my stuff up and kept it alive, but down to 5 Drolefs for AOT. jakulangski taking a decisive advantage here.
Avaleth going to come in for a scout. AOT will know exactly what's up with him as more and more Quasilisk storm the field for both players. Now, we do have some Zeths on the field, but I think AOT is already very well aware of the interaction between Quasilisks and Zethicores, which is to say the Zeths just end up getting melted. Yeah.
It only takes one game. Oh, and this is a mistake if jakulangski loses these. Oh, he needs to play defensive here. I mean, I don't know if he's aware exactly how many draw his opponent has, but with the hatchery on the low ground, with so many more draw of his own, I feel like staying back is the right choice, and he even made additional draw lists. Below about the point for them, huh?
I feel like if he kept his other force alive, he could at the very least do a little bit of harassment to deny mining in the main.
When did they get in? Did he get a draw left with those?
Not yet, not yet. Still needs to activate. True. But just the lost mining time here alone is a little bit of a pain. Not going to end up doing too much more.
We're playing Brood War after all.
Yes.
2 lings come in and
I know,
game's over.
Well, darting back and forth, trying to anticipate it.
He's doing a good job of trying to, like, you know, make those take as long to clean up as possible, but I have to criticize at home that he's not spending his minerals while he's doing that. You know, like a third hatch could have gone down. He would have been better off, I think, than whatever benefit those Zeths got him, and he's still throwing away a couple units here.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Well, Quasilisk is going to return on home with its buddy. We've got more of them hatching over here. This Avaleth obviously hasn't gone down just yet. Oh man, Jack could have been so much more ahead if he just took his workers and killed that Kagrant that was being dropped off. Going to be
definitely. I think he would have just won straight up. I think we get ended right.
Right.
Even now, I think he's sort of throwing this a bit by not spending his minerals. I'm surprised because normally jakulangski has quite solid macro. It's just the sort of micro engagements he falls down on. So I'm not sure what he's planning here with all those minerals.
Yeah, well, he does have another hatch to go ahead and drop down if he wants it. Looks like instead it's going to be a Kagrant.
I think Kagrant's fine, but Mixon needs another hatch as well. You know what would have been really good if he'd been mining gas earlier and had got a Hydriff already. I think he would be in a dominating position. But
absolutely.
As it stands, just starting that now. AOT only mining a little bit as well. Eventually a Hydriff will drop down, I'm sure.
Well, the production advantage is coming online here. We do have a third base starting, and this is double gas, but it's so open, so difficult to hold in this matchup, it feels like. So that's going to be something we keep our eyes on. I don't think that the Avaleth has spotted it, so there's a little bit of a point in Jack's favor. But, you know, he's now down by almost, 8 workers or so, and that's a pretty significant dip in his worker count.
Yeah, just by virtue of pressing the buttons, I think AOT's pulled ahead again here. But, as you say, the third hatch could be huge. Oh, he's going to drop it on the ramp. I like that. That's a good move. Gives you a lot of defense. And the thing is, if AOT sends an army across and comes up on the left side there, where there's no defenses, he'll end up sort of like getting baited into the hatchery and in these weird choky locations. It won't actually be that easy to kill your opponent that way. It's been borne out in many games that it's actually not that beneficial to try and run up because you're like, oh, there's nothing on this ramp, but then your army's all like spread out in these weird spots. What was that overlap noise? You heard that?
Yeah. He was just migrating them over here. Looks like Art of Turtle has sights set on expanding, as he does have a little bit of a mineral float himself. Hydra then for him as well, but no extra tech for Jack just yet.
I think he's going to throw it down in a minute. He's got the drill F in position, right? Setting up the gas. I think jakulangski is well aware that Hydra is sort of superior to Quas. He's going to send some drill F down here, hopefully.
Yeah, can get started on the mining for that Vespene.
Hydra. Is Jack going to make a Larvolsk here? Where's he making those Kagrants? Is that all at the ramp?
He's got 2 inside over here. I don't know if they're being dropped. Yeah, he's bringing them over, I suppose. I do like this little... It doesn't cost
anything, but I gotta say, you can just bring the draw life over. Oh, okay, he's gonna set up the other ramps. Oh no, you know what he's doing? This is based on the game we played on Purgatory that I believe you casted.
Oh,
where
yeah, that's right.
I just fortified the ramps and just like waited. Until
because you can get up to like 5 bases with that if you can do it properly. So it can be powerful, but...
Definitely, but the thing is, behind this, he has to draw really, really hard, right?
Yeah.
Which he can do, that's the idea, but you've got to be on the ball, you've got to block every attack, and like you're really making like no units because you're doing everything you can to just surge ahead economically with this cheap defense with the circus. So it's tricky, it is tricky.
Scab
and with no Hydra
too.
of his own, like if skiffs come out, I think Jack's in big trouble. Factals are not very good at attacking up here for sure, but they're not bad. It's not bad to have in your army.
No, yeah, and, at the very least, he'll have some kind of response. He's made these Kagrants so he can easily drop them over. He's really putting the Kagra generation code to its use at this point. Yeah. And thinking about taking another base. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the move. When you're doing this, you have to just be like, right, I must be 100% safe. You've got to kind of take that attitude because otherwise you'll just be making a lot of defenses and making units and you'll just be behind compared to your opponent who just made the units, So you've got to really put the what is it? The gas pedal down is what I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
It's a little awkward, though, because, okay, this Obelisk coming into scout, it's going to see the ski back to at least be aware that there could be an airstrike, right? I mean, Artiturtle doesn't actually have that much Vespene. It is going to be Hydras for now, which kind of signals to me that he's going for backs. This, obviously, all these idle workers is a big whiff, but the other thing, too, is that he's not harvesting gas from the space, so the main reason you take that base doesn't seem to be actuating just yet.
Yeah, it would be important to get up to tier 2 for sure. Look, he has the Drollev count because he has been making him pretty hard. So as long as he gets some money soon enough, I'm not that worried. Look, it all just comes down to how well Jack can manage the defense here, right? Like if he can patrol back and forth between the key spots. I'm not really worried if his tier 2 is late, as long as his opponent doesn't have some kind of tier 2 basket. AOT here not going for tier 2 at all. Yeah. And honestly, this is very much AOT's style. He always gets the backs and that sort of thing. Doesn't rush for tier 2 very fast at all. But I wouldn't mind seeing a few Zephs around the map to see like which paths the enemy army is coming on. That's very important when you're doing this. And honestly, I don't think 2 Circa for each base is enough. And you've got to remember, they only cost 125 minerals plus the Drollev, I suppose. So it's not really that much of a commitment, and you don't care about minerals that much once you're up to this many Drollev.
Yeah, I would say so. Jack definitely stretching ahead by a fair margin, over 20 workers to his better. Army advantage clearly for Artiturtle.
Yeah, you got to look at this. You got to look at this and say, like, okay, I don't want to lose the game because, I was 20 workers ahead and I made, like, 6 more. You'd rather be like, oh, I was only 20 workers ahead and I made a bunch of circus that never got attacked, It'd be much better.
Fair enough.
Yes, the gas, though. Tier 2 going to come down in just a minute. Now, it's a formidable army for AOT. There's only a handful of quads out. If a few Hydras come out just the right moment, which I think they are, you'd be surprised how little you can defend this with. And honestly, it does look pretty strong with 3 circus there. We'll see what AOT can have. Now, drops could be absolutely huge here. If you can just ferry some of the units up, it makes it so much easier. No, it's just going to run right past. Yep. I don't know about that.
Well, the Hydras are being tanked for by the Quasis, so this is actually working out pretty well for AOT. He's going to crack that first circuit, see if he can strew about. Remember, there's no defenses deep around. He's all counting on this ramp hold, and now all of those units are just going to charge up. Artiturtle looks good to stuff this base.
Yeah, I think Jeff needs to give up that base, actually, while he can get some more Hydras out or whatever. Because if he keeps funneling in here and loses all his Hydras, he'll actually just be killed. Look what's happening here.
Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think what we're seeing here is Artiturtle taking a decisive advantage. Remember, worker count still very much for Jack. He did save most of his units, but...
Yeah, here's the thing. If Jack does not die here, he's still doing okay, I think, because he has that other base. It's kind of like he didn't lose a base, but didn't gain a base. The problem is, can he actually hold off this army from the next move, which is coming here? Now, I like this making the...
here it is.
There. Ah, the elevator. Oh my god. Okay, in Brood War, I've never, ever seen anyone win a game when they start taking part of their army at a time, but, in Cosmonarchy, maybe it's good. I don't know.
Yeah, it does feel like there's an opportunity here for Jack to respond to this, but now the Hydra then, as a response to being attacked, is going to start mutating. Where's the army in response? Okay, a lot of Hydra streaming through that ramp, but it might not be enough. I think the den's going to get sniped anyway.
If he pulls all his workers, he could definitely clean this. It'll be costly. Oh, no. Okay, that's really bad, because it's going to make down Quasilis, and this is a really bad engagement angle for Jack. Getting very, crammed up there. The back was doing enormous damage, and more dropping in. Almost the whole army's up here anyway at this point, but it looks like Jack might be able to clean it up, actually.
Yeah, he had 10 more Hydras queued up there, so not a bad situation for him, and now the piecemeal approach of the army is not going to work out for him.
Yeah, so now when we look at this, right, Jack's still way up on workers, right? He just needs to survive. His tier 2 didn't start, I don't think. Oh dear, that's a mistake.
Yeah, he hasn't never made it.
Neither is AOT, though, so as long as Jack can stabilize, he's still ahead. The question is, can he stabilize? Can he get the defenses going? Those 2 extra K-grunts near the natural might actually still be worth it later, because, who knows when AOT's going to come up. A lot more circus here, but they're too far back from the ramp. That's a big mistake, actually. So not going to be as effective. Still going to help with the defense here, though.
AOT has no idea that 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock's position has actually been taken. So, for now, this is going to look like he just needs to break his opponent by attacking into the natural. Remember, AOT's still only on 2 bases, so he thinks his opponent is on the same number of bases as him. Zork's Shroud going down behind this. All of the Hydras that were made before have to be supplemented by Zethra-cores, which is not working out super well just yet.
No, it's not.
A lot of the Hydras still alive.
I like the Zorkias. If you get a couple of Kisleys out, you can hold for sure. Now, it looks like things just about evened out.
Oh, no.
But reinforcements come in. Oh, did that Overlift die with Kisleys in it?
I think so, yeah. I think there's at least one in there.
Back on the defenses again. Oh, he's just going to run past? No, he's going to focus. There's more Hydras coming out. He must have rebuilt the Hydra, I didn't even see. Is it enough for Jack? It might well be, actually. I think he's going to clean this up.
Yeah, I think so. This is looking like a cleanup for Jack, and I don't know if now maybe Art of Turtle has figured it out that, oh, wow, you're having units come in from the right-hand side. That must mean that you're flanking me with a 1 o'clock base. But he's busted through 2 ramps so far, so Art of Turtle has plenty of angles of attack, and Jack, well, what is he going to do in reaction? Still no tier 2.
All right, finally, AOT makes a few more draw left here, by the way. He's been hardcore, just going all out. I think at any point, if jakulangski takes the advantage in army, it's over. Yep. I don't know about coming down here, but I mean, that is a smaller force from AOT. It might actually be a brilliant pickup from Jack, but some reinforcements come in there. Are they there the whole time? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, reinforcements strewing in for both players, but right now it's definitely Jack's favor. Just look at the number of Hydras he's made.
And now what does AOT do? He has less economy and less military right now. I don't know if Jack needs to necessarily push for the win. He might be able to, but I love that he took the 3 o'clock or the 1 o'clock, you'd say, during this. I think it's actually a really good move because he knew he had plenty of minerals in the bank, right, that he couldn't spend.
Yes.
So you might as well get that up, and when the game comes down, you're like, oh, good, my base is already up. You know, and you're maintaining like a really significant advantage here. If there's only 1 base up, it's like, okay, it's still good, but it's not necessarily over. But now the case is like, I feel like AOT still just has to make something happen or it's over.
Yep. Yeah, definitely still. And, you know, this Quasilisk, obviously, it hasn't gotten any frags yet, but obviously it's taken quite a bit of time away from really any attempts, you know? Just having full scouting, full knowledge, Art of Turtle is not on any more bases.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if your opponent doesn't even try, at least knowing that he's only on 2 bases, you know exactly what you need to do, right? And maybe that's why he didn't throw down tier 2, actually. He did have a huge gas bank, but he did spend all his minerals, so it may have been the right decision in the end, just to barely hold on here. And look, AOT's sending draw lefts out, doesn't know where to put them. Like, he's just starting that base now.
Tier 2 finished.
Tier 2. What is the tech?
Is it going to go straight to Matravel? I know that's your favorite. It looks like it's Jack's as well, dropping the nest.
Yeah, I think Vilgorokors would be good enough here. They're sort of not amazing, but they're good enough that they'll crush tier 1 armies, right? Oh, he's picking that up.
He's got the range advantage thanks to that little mound, so...
When did he get his own ski back? Wow, now AOT's even more screwed because he doesn't even have that sort of semi-tech advantage. There's a big army there, though. I love that that Jack is pulling back, by the way.
Yes.
Really good decision there. Just, okay, I got the hatch. I'm not going to try and see what you got. I'm just going to preserve this army.
And it's not being reestablished just yet from AOT. Here we go. This 1 Quasilisk still. This is all the practice against you paying off, I think. That's what's going on there. So
I'm really impressed. Look, like I say, though, I think the one thing he should steal from me is getting Zephs and putting them on the attack paths. Just even if, you know, it dies, like it's only 25 minerals and you know where the opponent's army is moving can give you an enormous advantage, a game-winning advantage in some cases. I like the Akagita here. I think Kagralist would be pretty good just to overpower this army.
Yeah, I mean,
combination of... Sorry, you go.
No, yeah, if you think about it, right, a lot of the, like, even though there's a lot of Hydras, a lot of Bactylisks, it's not as many as if you were going for a more swarmy-oriented composition. And so if you get a bunch of, say, 12 Kagralisks or something like that, you can start to really focus them down.
I like Matrolefs, but you got to have the Zephs with them. It's not going to be that great. I mean, it'll still be decent, but I just wonder, it's probably more cost-efficient just make Vilgorokors or even Convalists actually quite good here. If you're not going to be spamming a lot of corpse units, basically. Oh, look at this. These are draw lefts. Oh, this could be huge.
Yeah, the Bactylisks are here as well. This is a pretty big incision. Art of Turtle not looking favored now to take this engagement on the Purgatory. He might be the one picking the second map of the best of 5, looking at the way things are going.
Not a great angle, though. The Jack, he does get a bit surrounded, not really macro 4, but he does just have a lot. And AOT in disarray here. Look how many draw lefts died, even if he cleans this up, which I don't think he's going to. This is just a slaughter. The Matrolefs, they come in just for the victory dance, honestly. Like, they're just like, yeah, and I've got these. You better get out of the game.
Yeah.
GG.
GG indeed. And look at that. That means our boy Jack, he's up 1-0 over this guy.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Look, I have a metaphor for that game. It's like they got into a dogfight and they both, like, stalled out trying to chase each other too hard. Then Jack was, like, skating along the ground with AOT on his tail, but he pulled up. He managed to get out of there. I think that game definitely showed a lot of Jack's weaknesses, but he also managed to play to his strengths enough to win. And AOT's plan was, I'm going to kill you, and he didn't kill him. So
that's right. That's right. Well, we do go to a couple of additional maps here, so let's see what's up our sleeve for game number 2. Well, the best of 5 ZVZ continues on Titan Forge. We have Art of Turtle in the top, jakulangski in the bottom. Must be feeling pretty good about himself taking down a guy like Art of Turtle. If he knows anything about anyone, feel okay. Ooh.
I assume this isn't like BM. Like maybe Jack was like, you know, oh, I'm a bit tired or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. They are in weird time zones. Going high next games. Okay.
Latency, I assume they mean. Oh, that's what he meant by feeling okay too.
Yeah.
Although that'd be great BM if like your opponent wins. It's like, you feeling okay? Did you really just do that?
What?
Yeah, he doesn't even know what he means either. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I guess that's just AOT
for the next game.
That's him saying he's good. He's good to go. So
maybe he did mean it that way. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's curious. It's curious, you know, because obviously Art of Turtle must think to himself, I'm better than all these scrubs that are on the No Frauds Club, more like the Scrubs Club. Get him out of here. And then, you know, Jack comes in.
I want to say like, oh no, AOT never, but honestly, I think you might be right.
Yeah, you know, he might feel like he's pretty good. I don't know what they're saying hey and howdy for, but you know what? There's this bewilderment through time. These guys played this, I don't know, early this week, late last week, something like that. And
all right, they did both go for the in-base hatch.
Oh, he's talking about this. Yeah, I was going to mention this as a bit of a lark, but not only did we fix it just by moving the base, but I also took I took the Hatcherosk and I actually made it have the same collision size as all the other town centers, because that was the thing that was causing the issue. Because for Terran and Protoss, it wouldn't happen in that position, but for Zerg it would. So just a little bit of silly Brood War trivia.
Yeah, well, you know, that's Brood War for you. Yes, my barracks to the right of my command center. Zealots can't go through there, but if I put a Hydra Den to the right of my hatchery, you know, that's Brood War.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they both went for in-base hatch here, and AOT did get a couple more drones before the pool. Oh, actually, I think before the hatch even, which, you know, is complicated here, because if your opponent's going for a pretty hardcore early pool, you want to get that up as early as possible, of course. But in this case, he takes a very slight advantage here. Now, because these players are actually staying at home, they didn't get an early pool, we can talk about the bans finally.
Oh, yes, so, there we go.
AOT banned Theta Morgana first, which I think is a solid pick, because it's a small map, it's sort of a choking map. If you feel like you just have stronger mechanics, and I believe AOT feels that way, I think is correct, and that you're not 100% familiar with like all the tricks, you know, that kind of thing, I think Theta is a map you will avoid. Jakulangski banned Sideshow, which I'm intrigued, because I would have said longer game macro, Jakulangski is going to succeed, and Sideshow is a map that's easy to defend. And as we saw last game even, Jakulangski likes to play defensive games, and he's not bad at it necessarily. So I don't know what the idea is there. Then we have Derelict banned by AOT, and that one, I don't know, who would ever ban Derelict?
I know, yeah. Must have been you after playing Anansi 40 times in a row. Like, all right.
No, then I ban every other map and say, like, yes, there is only Derelict.
Okay.
Jack can go for a drop again. You know, I don't like doing it 2 games in a row. You've got to sort of keep your opponent guessing, like, you know, is that overleft full? Is it empty? Is he going to drop? Is he going to be at home? Is he going to be at my front? You know, I mean, maybe in that way, it's like even more of a mind game. Like, he won't do it 2 games in a row. We'll see.
Listen, they passed like ships in the night, which is to say Art of Turtle didn't put his camera down there, and Jack did. So Jack is aware he's going to chase it off. But this worker is somehow sneaking by as the 2 K-crits are dropped by the ramp.
Get out of there! You're baiting them in!
Oh,
no! I think you realized because he did kind of send it back a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so it's dead.
Now you're like,
that's almost a little suspicious to be like, wait, why didn't you scout my main? Well, turns out...
Okay, he's going to drop. You know, if he gets 2 draw left, this is worth it, I reckon.
Well, he's not going to get any just yet. Not microing his quasis out that much either. Only good so
some
far
mining
for...
time, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth 6 quasis just to get mining time, unfortunately.
No, it was on attack move. It wasn't even on a focus target. Oh, man.
Well, somehow the worker count evened out there, although, wait a minute. Oh, he just put another Hatcherosk, sure. Pretty... Oh, because he made 2 K-grunts. Yeah, I don't know about that for AOT. Maybe he was quite limited on scouting information here, right? Because a single K-grunt will just make so much difference in quasi fights. It's kind of insane.
Yes.
But he obviously didn't need to be super defensive because his opponent went for basically the same build.
By the way, look for that to change going forward. The Circuith loses 1 armor in the next patch, and that will be the Battlements patch. So,
why are you buffing quasi like this? Actually, a huge quasi buff, I gotta say.
Maverick too, right? So
yeah, I suppose. Although I think if Terran knows the Circus out, they just make a couple Hurricanes. They don't really mind that much.
Yeah, I would say so. Now the Ovolith's moving back in. I thought for a second it was going to scoop up those quasis, but this is I think the first time we're casting the new version of Titanforge as well, which has all those expansions to the right.
Oh yeah.
So
very good change, I think. Look, we'll talk about the problems with Titanforge if it gets to that phase.
That's right.
Jakulangski pulling back here. You know, if I think about it, this map probably favors Jakulangski a bit, but there's kind of asterisks on that. We'll see what happens here. Still no drop from AOT. He's well aware that you can do that, of course, but I suppose just trying not to overextend here, which I think is fine. Again, I think if you think you have superior mechanics, it makes sense to just be staying at home and deflecting everything, and so far no problem for AOT.
Yeah, very minor worker advantage. Might get extended later on. First tech of the game outside of the pool is going to be jakulangski's Hydrith Den. Nothing in sight for AOT right now, but he does have a lot of Vespine, so I'm wondering what he might be thinking about going for.
You know, once again on paper, jakulangski should have been ahead on workers here because he got his third hatch ross sooner. He made less quasis. Oh, actually, no, he did lose a bunch, actually, so I take that back. But yeah, he should be at least even, I think.
Yeah, he definitely made less Kagrins for a little while, so it feels like maybe he elected to go a little bit differently, but... Quasi's charging over. They see this offload coming in.
AOT really living up to his name here. Just making so many Kagrins.
I know.
Is he rushing tier 2? Because you see the gas building up already.
He's got the den, so this might also be a Skith play. We'll see if he goes for the scab.
Yeah, I don't like it that much, to be honest. Because this is this very narrow sort of air path. If he does go Skith, I mean, we don't know what he's doing.
Right.
Here, and like, I don't know, I just feel like there's not that much benefit to that, but of course it's always going to work if your opponent doesn't know what's happening. Now, more overlap coming up for jakulangski. Is he going to try a drop here? If he does, I think that's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, there's so many Quasis preemptively set here, so it's a little curious.
I wouldn't be the biggest fan of it, but if he just was distributing overlap around the map early, I think that's okay. It has some value later as the game goes on, but I don't know. If he wants to drop, he needs more military units. Oh my god. Oh, I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. This is like time travel, because this is exactly what I did last night to Shambler, not Shambler, to Mute. You take these, you go put them out the other ramp.
What other ramp? Oh, like right here.
Yeah, the most important one. You found it. That's the most important ramp in the map. You just fortify that and wait for your opponent to leave. Is basically what you do on this map. Now, the problem is there are other paths, and your opponent could sneak around maybe, but you fortify that ramp, it's a good first step.
Fair enough, yeah. You were alluding to the pathway problems that you can get on with Titan Forge, and that might be one to watch out for. We do have a cute Larvosk. Haven't seen that very often, but Jack has been a believer.
Now, we should clarify something, by the way. When you say pathway problems, you know, in CMBW, it's not that hard to get your army going where you need to. Okay, he's not doing what I expected, by the way. But it's just the fact that this map can be isolated to only 3 paths, 2 of which are very narrow. So you fortify the big one, you put some token units at the small ones, and your opponent is going to have a hell of a time going through on ground. Now, I'm intrigued he came forward this far. I think this is actually a big mistake. Because with any reasonable ground force, you can actually just fight this on the ground.
Also, you can take this Kagrin spot here and kill the circuit with the range, so it doesn't feel... I mean, you can just evacuate it after. Okay, it's going to be a Hydra push, it looks like. He wants to drop onto this spot, which I'm not sure is the greatest of moves.
Oh, God.
No, there's 2 Hydras in there. Oh, they don't get unloaded.
At least you get some of them out so they don't get shot down. I guess he's going to get that one circuit, but I mean...
It'll just remorph, right? And he doesn't even get it anyway.
Oh, it is not a tier 2 rush, by the way. It is Gorgra cores, and in this situation, I think that's perfect.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just going to run in, and, you know, jakulangski's attention is all at this opponent's natural. And it's like, oh my god, my draw left disappeared in 1 second. You don't even need detection, right? You can just hit anything nearby, and they'll all die.
You can attack each other. Well, I guess they can't attack each other anymore because the anti-air attack is not so
Can't believe you nerfed this perfectly balanced unit. ZVZ used to be paradise. I can't believe you've done this. Ooh, if these Hydras stay... No, they're not going to stay.
They're not going to stay. There's no vision over there. He thinks he needs to reinforce the front line. What's Jack's reaction? No. Not paying attention to the minimap. Only now is going to start to see all of the Gorgs over here. Going to try to evacuate his workers, but that is a big mistake. The Gorga cores deal AOE. AOT. I screamed IRL!
I would too, to be honest. I would too. That's a jump scare right there, right? Now, you don't want to fight these Hydras. You will lose most of these, if not all of them. There's people back there.
He can probably take away some of the tech buildings or something, but he's just getting
started, you know. He'll come back later when the Hydras aren't here and they'll be softened up.
That's right.
But yeah, you don't quite want that fight. I mean, I feel like he'd probably kill all the Hydras, but what's he going to have left over? You going to kill that?
No.
No? Okay. He lets that one live.
Go ahead and munch on these circuits for a bit.
Yeah, he pushed them back just like that. You know what you should do? You should give Sarkava Cores lifesteal because they're eating their, their opponents. Why not, man?
I mean, imagine if we did that for everyone, because then like the Zephyr Core and everything.
Zephyr would be sick.
Might be an unironic selection. Well, the circuits are going to get bopped over here in theory, but the Gorga cores are going to end up getting bopped by the Hydras instead, so... All right.
Welcome to Cosmonarchy. It's like, yeah, I killed all those. Well, did you though?
Yeah.
They're back already. Well, not quite. I like these pushing out before they remorph. They're quite good. But these Gorga cores as well.
Oh, this is deadly. Sharking in with the Gorgs.
Very nice move by Jack to pull back here, but is it going to be enough? Well, he's doing a lot of damage at least.
Yeah, I would focus down the Gorgs here if I were in Jack's shoes, just to get rid of my opponent's air. It's one less angle of attack that I have to worry about.
And they are so expensive, right?
Yeah.
Even though like they're not even that strong necessarily in the army, there's only 2 of them. They just cost so much. It feels good to kill them.
Yep.
But what does Jack have now? He doesn't have much, and there's 33 military units out for AOT coming down to kill him.
Yeah, no defenses over here in this bottom left location, so that is going to be a little bit
dicey. Well, he can lose
dicey.
that because he does have another base. I think he needs to pull back to the natural and get ready to defend, because once again, he would still be up in draw left here if he just survives. And having the 3rd base is pretty good too, but is he going to survive? Those poor Gorkapors never had a chance.
No, indeed. Those eggs end up getting murdered.
He does have a couple circuits here. I don't know, this feels possible. It feels possible. He needs to be spamming out like a few Kizalists or something.
Yeah.
So it needs to be useful too.
Would love to see a little bit more tech from both of our players at this point, honestly. But Jack is slowly getting that scab. Obviously, the Hydras can stand here and use the Shambler spot to pick up this 3rd.
Shambler, why have you done this to Jack? He's my boy. Why are you making him lose?
That's right.
Back. Where's he going?
Oh, no, that's it. He doesn't want it.
Dude, AOT would be straight up winning if he took that out. Look at all these units.
I know, yeah. He had like 20, or probably, 2,000 minerals, something like that for a moment there. He's got 24 Drollets popping at the same time, so.
Yeah, good move to draw up now.
Yeah, you've got the tempo for sure, right?
Yeah. And now, but then it swings back again, because if Jack can break out somehow, then again, like, look at the army size, my god. Yeah, no, you don't want to do this. And
no, but you can pick the Gorg. Ah.
In the end, it's AOT who occupies the game-winning ramp, so it's over. We go to the next replay.
Well, he's got all these workers here for reinforcements.
I don't think they're meant to go down there. I don't think he's going to start building all the stuff there. He could.
Well, he might as well now that he's got them there. He's going to get some Likizalisks, so see what lurkers are like.
He's even seen that, actually. He's even aware that that's like the sort of meta here. Yeah. Have we even cast anything? I think there was one where I had the Convalisks that you casted, but it hasn't been seen that much, actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the other thing, too, is that AOT's barely been on the channel thinking about it. He's only had that one game versus Grunch earlier, Urbman's brother.
Right.
So.
Would like to see it, though. You can't underestimate how important state defense is in Cosmopolitan, because you got to keep that gas. There you go. He's going to do it. Okay. If he's going to make 2, I'd really like to see him put one on the other ramp. But I like this move, really just locking down any possibilities for Jack to get out here. Yeah, what was that map ping? What was that?
Oh, that would have been somebody's tier 2, or no, it was combat? I'm not sure, actually. There's a tier 2 starting.
Tier 2. Yeah, at last.
Not so for good old Jack.
Ooh, yeah, he's going to be very behind here, right? It's going to take like another couple minutes to get the gas.
Well, our Zergs are on the even bases. Artiturtle obviously having way more on the worker count, but until he saturates this 3rd base, it's not really going to matter. Now, here's a big problem. The Bactylisks are here, but they can't really fight up the ramp versus all these Hydras. Yeah. Not in my opinion, anyway.
Causalists are going to be a disaster here. And with that Kizalisk I think I saw for AOT up there.
There are a couple
that's going to be unbreakable on this ramp with tier 1 or 1.5. Even already it sort of is with that much Hydras and stuff here. I'm curious he puts it that far back. It's a very like Brood War thing, like, oh, I gotta get ready for the Zealots running past or whatever. Oh, nice drop though.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Nice. How did he get all the way in there?
I know, yeah. He threaded the needle. These workers not yet harvesting, awaiting commands.
Oh, but how much has he lost here? Or was that AOT getting baited down?
A little bit, I think.
Yeah, well, he's fighting back. Somehow got a draw left over to the right there on the 4 o'clock. I don't know if that base is going to last as soon as he knows that. But then look at this, he's coming up this side. That's what I'm saying. You've really got to block off the other ramp as well. Now it's a bit more of an even fight, and the Bactylists make this actually really advantageous for Jack because it's a narrow area.
That's right. And there were Ovoleths all over the place, although I don't know if Jack has any right now, so it might not be as easy for him to counter the Likizalisks, but that's assuming they even come into the picture, because these Bactylisks are only 4 strong. Here's an Ovoleth for detection, but it gets sniped anyway. Nothing in it, thankfully, so Jack didn't lose too much. But yeah, the Hydra Storm is definitely going Artiturtle's way.
Jack unfortunately advanced too far into the concave there and did not pull back. He kind of just moved in. So
yeah, think about taking a fight like back here, right? You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he could have definitely at least held that location, right, and kept reinforcing, kept trying to take the high ground. But now he's lost a good deal of the army he'd invested in. Now he's still got some supply. I'm not really sure where his army is right now. Looks like it's mostly Hydrifs, I think. What is Zoyus there? Zoyus is a fine unit, but when you're defending this ramp over here, not actually that helpful, because if you're going to try and cram them in there to get into the engaged, like how are they going to get past your range units on the high ground?
That's right, yeah.
Okay,
part of a flank. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, okay, this is yeah.
Just going to chew up the
Not
Zets.
going to happen until tier 2 for sure.
Which still is not in the picture for Jakulangski. He still feels very much pressured. He's going to go ahead and take out the side path, but is that going to be enough? He's got a random worker somewhere. I think it got zoned away from taking the space.
Is he really? He's really sending your left through there?
That's a little bit audacious, I think. Oh, he's going to shut down the space. Yeah.
I like this because even if AOT might just one A move and kill him, I think you've got to start making desperate moves here. So I think it's a good idea. Now, AOT already has a lot of stuff back here. He's going to get the hatch ross, though.
Yeah. Zoryus are going to be able to engage upon the enemy.
The drill left. They're trying to return their cargo, but they're getting massacred.
The Shambler Treasury.
Yeah.
He's really just, he's killed Jack and he's killed Artiturtle in this one game.
I can't believe Shambler's winning this game.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Well,
hey, but Artiturtle very sensibly is like, alright, well, your army's gone, time to end it. He's going to come in here. Like I said, I think it's a good idea to try and do something there, but yeah, Jack just way too behind here.
That's right. Well, the last vestiges of defense are dead. We've got 5 Lachesis that only just now started. Some Zoryus, some Hydras for Jack, but let's be real, it ain't happening. I think Artiturtle has won this decidedly.
Yeah, definitely. A pretty smooth game for him. You can see Jack had play for sure.
Yes.
But AOT had a pretty good plan, I think, with the Gorgle Claws. I think anticipating his opponent would focus on the map. GG.
GG is called, yeah. Single G from Art of Turtle after his opponent has already died. My goodness. All right, hey, we're tied up. That means Jack picks map number 3. How are you still feeling about the series? We didn't really talk about too much on the prediction side in the pregame, but we did say that Art of Turtle has to be the one who we say is favored.
Honestly, after those 2 games, I feel like it's totally up in the air because both games showed like both players' strengths and weaknesses, and we can see that Jakulangski not so good at the engagements there, right? Not necessarily really good at the scouting and map awareness, but he has the macro and he has like sort of the plan to pull ahead as the longer the game goes. And like honestly, I liked his sort of idea of how to play the map as well. But AOT with just the better mechanics and like the better engagements. Was able to overpower him, but I feel like each game we don't know which of those is going to come into play. So honestly, after game 1 I was like, Jack's looking good. After game 2 I'm like, oh, 50-50. It's going to be 2.5 games each. There'll be a draw in game 5. You watch.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, hey, we could get all 5 games. That means I like the idea of that. Let's go to impetus for map number 3. We've got Jakulangski in the bottom left and Art of Turtle in the top right.
All right, so it's loser picks, yes. So
that's right. So Jack would have picked this map.
picking Titan Forge. It looks like he did have a plan there, but Jack picking this one. You know, I like it because it's very wide open and far away from your opponent. I think the wide open favors Jack because, as we saw, I don't think he's that good at maneuvering his army into tight spaces, and he should be able to get his economy going.
Yeah, that's more of a Brood War unit movement tactic, where players who have been playing Brood War for a very long time, such as Art of Turtle, are going to have a little bit better of an understanding of how to navigate those, you know, corridors and those little tight encroachments and how like trepidatious Brood War pathing can be. And it's a little bit improved in Cosmonarchy, but it's still closer to that than it is to something like StarCraft 2. So factoring that in, that's something that I think there's a lot of translatable skills from any RTS game to Cosmonarchy, but particularly when it comes to like the unit movement, like the path planning that the units automatically take. That's something that if you're a Brood War player, you're going to have a little bit more of an advantage on. Looks like both of our Zerg players are going to go for a hatch first, but Jack going for the expansion.
I like mixing this up. I think it's good to do a mix of in-base and low-ground, because obviously if your opponent goes 7-pool, you can't hold the low-ground hatchery. I think the best-case scenario when you go low-ground hatchery versus 7-pool is you sacrifice the low-ground hatchery and the game goes on from there. But if you go in-base, I don't think you really mind that much. You can probably hold both and be very ahead. But I like mixing it up so your opponent can't predict. He's like, oh, he's always going low-ground, I'm going to 7-pool, or, you know, he's always going high-ground, I'm just going to hatch first in the low-ground. So I like that from Jack. And I think hatch first definitely a good choice here, of course, because it's so far away on impetus here. Scout coming across for Jack as well, which, by the way, we kept not seeing AOT do.
Yeah, he hasn't scouted any of the games so far.
Yeah. You can adapt here and make like 3 draw lefts while your opponent's making quads, just because they're going to take a while to get across the map. So it could be very impactful. Would like to see him just turn it around and keep it alive, though. I think last game he lost the scout.
Yeah, that was with the drop combo. He was like scouting, and he got in when he probably shouldn't have got in, and that kind of lured the Quasis back for an instant response. So, hey, look at that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bait. Oh, it worked. Okay. So I like that because, you know, AOT doesn't know. He didn't send a scout. For all he knows, Quaz Zeph is coming across the map. So this is totally worth it. Even if he doesn't cancel, this is going to be worth it, to be honest. Because how much he cool. Like, he probably should have cancelled those.
I think so, yeah.
Still. He denied a lot of mining time there. I like that a lot. But what I don't like is that Jack's going straight into Quasi here. I think you got to look at this and say, like, okay, we got the pool and the hatch at the same time. If I make like 3 draw lefts, he's not going to get across the map before I've made my Quasis, and then I'm just ahead. So
that's right.
I like the Kagran. I think that was a good idea when you know your opponent hasn't scouted, but I don't know. Now he's just sort of playing toe-to-toe when he didn't need to.
Avalith coming for Art of Turtle, so we're going to see what he plans for that. Is it just for scouting? Is it for, you know, maybe he could group up around 6 o'clock and drop into the natural? That's a potential option.
In the middle of the map. Oh, and bad engagement for Jack, but AOT pulls back. It's the same number. Oh, wait, there's 2 more for AOT. Jack needs to get out of here, man, but AOT's a coward.
Yeah, he didn't turn on it. Oh, and just at the last second, path planning strikes again.
All right, Jack's causes with the stronger morale. Who can withstand them? He should not be trying this ramp, though. That's going to be a disaster if you do that.
That's a bold move there, but he does have more Quasis streaming on in. It's a lot, actually, so it kind of feels like maybe... Yeah, like...
Everything he does, I'm like, oh, this could be good, but then suddenly I'm like, no, not like that. Not like that, you know? If he just kept going full Quas, I would quite like this, but now he's gone back to Drawless. I mean, this would be an okay fight for Jack, I think.
Yeah, it started off pretty bad for Art, but he ends up focus firing a lot better than his opponents, so...
That is a bit rough. 3 Quas on, like, 2 HP there.
Yeah.
He gets one of them.
Yeah, denies a little bit of time, the army adjusting back up towards the natural before Art considers moving across the map.
Like yesterday. Oh, okay, there it is. Cool. Well, he does have a 3 draw left advantage, but I feel like it could have been better, and the army disadvantage is intense. Oh, okay. Zorkis again.
I think Den does beat Shroud, I would imagine, right? Like, if you think about it, the versatility of the Hydralisk is king, and even though it loses 1 armor pen in the next patch, that's not going to change this particular interaction here.
Well, all the Zorkis units rely kind of on surprise. Well, actually, that's not true. The Zor use is just like your mineral dump tank, right? But on its own, doesn't do that much. The other 2, like, you just have your opponents to not be ready for it, right? Hydrift's kind of ready for everything. But he has no army down here. He's going to need a really fast drone pool, I think, to hold this. He's seen it. He needs to get the Quas back down here and stop expecting a drop. Although AOT seems a bit hesitant to attack him. Here he goes. Both players hesitating, but Jack not reacting at all, really.
How many Quasilisks does it take to get to the center of the circuit pop? Well, right now, it looks like it's about to happen. Well, now the Quasis have bought enough time to hatch. So what are we going to see? The focus fire is a little bit schizo from Art. He's not actually focusing on the Kagrans, but finally will. And yeah, this is looking like it could be a fast one.
Yeah, I think this is over. He's probably not going to die because the Hydras will come out, but enough workers will die, but this game will end here, I think. Oh, he's going to cancel that Kagran as well. Maybe he will just straight up die here, I don't know.
I think so. His Hydra's only now starting.
The problem is production at the natural here is really bad because the units just get picked off. It's quite painful when this happens. You have to kind of just stop producing from the natural until the units go away. Sometimes if you make 3 eggs at once, they all pop out and they can fight, but look at this. This Hydra's going to be a dead loss here. Yeah. Is that a cancel? No,
it just the egg died. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, you can't cancel anymore, and you just get the larva back. Isn't that exciting?
That's true. Yeah, rather than just like, I want that egg to explode. And look at there's a huge reinforcement wave coming from AOT.
That's right.
Is that Zeph's? No, it's all Quas and the draw left, I think.
Yeah. Offensive Kagran, Manor Kagran.
Mana hatch, go.
Go.
Yeah, there it is. Alright, yeah, but that's going to be... He's going to overpower him pretty easily. Even Lakizalist's on the way. Jack not giving up, though. He's still making a Kagran.
I know, yeah, I don't know what he's thinking. There's way too many units streaming on in. He might assume he has more workers, and that actually is true. But is it going to be enough? Right? Not really. He has no reinforcement hatches. He does have the Larvosk, but he's going to go ahead and call GG. That will be match point now for Art of Turtle. Qualification point. Battleman's point. For our
Maybe that's Jack's idea here. You know, he wants to tire him out a bit. It's like, all right, this is for the qualification. I've got to go hard.
Let's
just keep him in the game for another minute, you know.
It's a real potential thing, you know. So let's see what happens. Then we go to game 4. Jack selecting Germination.
Okay.
This is a map we haven't seen too much.
Good pick. Yeah, actually, we have not. I think it's a good pick for Jack for the same reasons, really, because it's good for defenses and taking a few bases. And, you know, if AOT might be extra not familiar with it, because I feel like people don't host Germination that much.
Art of Turtle in the top left, Jack in the bottom right. The one thing I have to say about Germination is we talked about this in the 3 Crow Newt set. And I do think that the more compact nature of this third area, relative to a map that Biddy B said that he was trying to emulate, which was Sideshow, I think is kind of interesting, where it does mean that it's much more easy.
What does that mean?
Yesn't. That's about. What is it about? Don't keep us in suspense. Wait, never mind.
Oh, come on, AOT.
All right. Well, you know what? You made us all look a fool. Now.
Oh, the oil. It's come out. It was only a matter of time.
All right. I guess Jack must win this game.
He's always out of oil, right? But if he's got the oil... No, he says AOT's got the oil, so that's
he's got to take it. Jack. Yeah, he's got to take it from him.
Oh, dear. Right, once again, hatch first. 45%? That's a bit low.
That is a little bit low. Jack is at least 80.
Yeah, we see AOT here, by the way, got one more draw left again, but he did go in base. The best thing about going low ground here is you can get the circle up a lot faster. Getting saturation is really not that important. So look at that. Is it going to be degen from... Oh, no, that's a pool. I thought it was a K-Grunt, sorry. My bad.
All good, all good.
What preceded that? I didn't even see.
That he was mostly coconut.
Oh.
Laughing my oil, eh? I don't know what the A stands for.
That's what that means, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. This kind of sounds like AOT has like a dungeon where he's testing Filipino skin for durability, man. Like, I don't know.
Is he not? Is he Filipino himself? I don't know what he's. Is that
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, in that
like,
case,
all I know for sure is in North America, but I don't know.
Yeah. I guess he must be a Filipino dungeon tester.
I don't know, just the way he was saying, like, it's so durable.
Well, we do have 4 pairs of quasis for either player, so bog standard opener so far. It's kind of funny that that's turned into the sort of meta here. Jack will stretch ahead in workers just temporarily, and Art going for that Ovaleth. Not been any gas mined for Jack so far. He's going to change that now.
I wonder if he's going to throw down the third hatch pretty quickly here. I think which is a good move. As long as he can keep up on quads, which I don't see why he won't be able to. A drop could be dangerous for sure. And I think he's been hold this ramp here in a pretty good spot. He's going to go across those. Could be a bit of a mistake if he goes all the way. We'll see. He's going to throw in a Hatros for sure. He's got the money. Just waiting for that draw left to come. Oh, in base though.
Yeah, okay. Wants to one base it out. Might
be feeling go for just like. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like Jack might have been giving off the rush energy with that K-Grunt, you know, the mind game and the K-Grunt in the early game on Impetus. Now down, 2-1. Is it going to be a desperate strike? And so maybe Art's thinking I can't really. I shouldn't even try to attack with, without getting an extra hatch, and I shouldn't even try to go for a natural or anything like that. So that's what it feels like to me. Now, Jack calling the bluff. The Ovaleth not going to bring his army back. I do think that the superior position is here, but there's way more Quasilisks for Jack than Art of Turtle.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. With AOT with the hatch in the main, it's kind of like, well, yeah, you can kill all this. Hang on, is that all that AOT has?
That's right. Not only 3 pairs now about to hatch. He's going to go for the
K-Grunts. Oh my god, if he gets in here, he could do huge damage. I mean, if he got like 4 quads left over, you'd kill a lot of draw left. And honestly, he's got a lot more than 4 quads left over.
That's right. Even doing a little bit of fancy burrow micro to see what he can make happen. Not sure what the ping situation was like in this game set, but he's going to go ahead and stream on forward. The worker pull. Oh, Neblime, this could get ugly if the focus fire comes in, but I don't know that it's actually happening right now.
Well, it looks like enough quads actually came out for AOT there that he's going to hold.
That's right.
Surprisingly. Now, what has Jack got behind this? No Hydra for anything. He's still mining gas. Not that many draw left either.
I know,
so, we've had a bit of a trade. He does still have the natural, but AOT has more hatch rolls.
Production advantage for Art of Turtle. Obviously, economic advantage slowly developing over here. It's barely an economic advantage. Actually, it's not at all because of the gas miners. So, he's going to start to factor it in now, but he needed more than 20 workers in order to make that.
What I really like to see is Hydra, right? Just take advantage of the fact he's got the gas. Ooh, I like this. Getting the high ground shots there. That's really well done by Jack. Oh, huge engage there. He just killed so many quads for basically free.
That's right. Yeah, the Ovaleth took about half its health and damage, and that was it. And there's actually not really anything here for Art of Turtle. He's going to go ahead and make 4 pairs of quasis. You can obviously just walk past the circuit if you're in Jack's shoes. And all of the workers concentrated in one location. Now we're going to start to see Jack stretch ahead, economically speaking, and his Denny is on the way.
I tell you, man, the key to playing Zerg is to use Hatros and Overleft to tank. That's the key unit.
So far. We've seen that on the Purgatory. We've seen that on this map now with the Ovaleth. It's pretty funny.
Okay, we do have a Hydra. He's loaded up there. Ooh, this is spicy because he was sort of just like casually moving the Overlord around like, I'm just here scouting, don't mind me. Although it looks like AOT's
I think AOT's savvy, yeah. He's like, hey, you had more quasis than that. Ah.
Totally on mode 1. Unfortunate. Does get another hatch? No, he does have the Hydroth, right? So I think if he can just build up the Hydroth army while AOT is still stuck in this terrible situation on one base, oh, he's going to try and drop two. I think he's going to be in a pretty good spot here. More Drilleth do come out, though. I mean, look at the production tab. Jack's making like 6 things.
I know, yeah. That always feels bad when you're like watching your own replay back and you see like, oh, my production tab was empty.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens that often, honestly, but for AOT, still figuring out what the game plan is.
Okay, Jack going full power on the macro. He got a Larvosk. He's getting 2 more Hatcherosks. He's taking that third. I think it's a good move, but
a little off
he
center,
needs to position his army accordingly. And the overlap is incoming with some Quasilisk to counter drop.
Yeah, there's one lone Quasilisk defender.
It'll make a lot of difference, actually, because it will distract the enemy Quasilisk for a little bit of time. Oh no, it got freed. Who let that guy out?
Yeah, the Droleth eggs here.
Yeah.
Drop off to the side.
Uh-oh. Is he going to notice? Well, on the bright side, there's nothing to distract Jack right now. There's no fight going on.
Yeah.
He has the army he needs. Just needs to make sure he pulls the Droleth quickly enough not to lose too many.
Yeah, that's right.
Kill the Hydra? Probably not. It would be huge if you get that ski back.
Okay. You said nothing was happening, but he was scouting his opponent. That's going to be more than enough to distract him for a very long amount of time, apparently. He's losing so many workers back at home. Jack, tell me this isn't how it ends, buddy.
Oh my god. I hope he got some good intel, man.
He's only now figured it out.
Okay.
That's like 10, 11 workers dead.
Yeah, maybe more. So he needs to just be drolling for like 3 minutes now to catch up again. But he will kill all this pretty easily with his Hydroth at least. I mean, okay, Jack still has that pretty solid advantage of Hydroth that I think it's going to be hard for AOT to attack in unless Jack's out of position. Now...
And he's even got the ski backed upgrade. So if you think about it, right, like it's an opportunity for there to be.
Fit in there.
Yeah, I know that's probably something Bitty B should fix. But you know, like if we're thinking about from the scab perspective, like this does give you the opportunity to go Bactyl. Bactyl just destroys all of the pool stuff. So Shroud coming as a response. But if Jack can hit a timing here, which I feel like he's not going to want to after losing all those workers, it is technically feasible though.
I think it's quite dicey to come across the map and attack, though, because you got to remember Bactyls are very slow.
Yep.
And there's enough cause they can sort of like jump on top of them. I think defending is okay, especially since he has the 3 bases, and you can catch up again on Droleth. You know, you're a Zerg, you've got lava production. And especially the fact that making your defenses isn't actually costing you lava because just morphing existing Hydras. I think he's okay here just staying back. Oh, here comes the Cause army too. That is an army. That's not like a squad. That's an army.
A battalion of Quasilisks.
You know, in Brood War, I'd always call like a bunch of speed zealots a football team because they kind of charge in and attack you. I don't know what you call a bunch of Quasilisk in Cosmonarchy.
Yeah, I don't know. They will have to think about a fire team name or something. Now, Tier 2's just started for Art of Turtle.
Ooh, now that's pretty huge. Although it makes me wonder what this Orcase is for. I wouldn't have thought you'd want to go Quas Soyuz, but maybe. All right, now like I was saying, jakulangski out of position is going to be key here. If he was set up right next to that circuit right now, I'd say his tech's going to do nothing, but as it stands, it's going to get up here. Once the ramp advantage is gone, that's a lot of Quasilists. They can just run in, and they can do just that.
Well, hey, you said it earlier, Neblime. Listen, the Hatcheros can tank, the Bactylisks can do the damage. Let's see what ends up happening. Actually, he snipes down that circuit.
Now you say that, I look at this again, I go like, oh yeah, there's no way he could get in there. Hatcheros has way too much health, yeah, definitely. And he very wisely turns around though, preserves most of the Quasilists there. I mean, they're only Quasilists, so a lot of them die just walking back and forth, but hey, he's still got like 1 billion.
I know, he's got so many of them.
I mean, when we first started playing Zerg vs. Zerg, when I just switched from Terran, me and I think it was Shambler, both had like 200 Quasilists, so, you know.
There was that one game.
The meta has evolved.
Yeah, there was that one game where Keen built like 99 of them and didn't attack his opponent and then died. So that
Actually,
was
I think he had literally 200 in that game.
Oh, yeah.
They were like Almax, but they were dying to Quasilists because there was so many.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
That was a beautiful game.
Yeah. Love that.
All right, but like Jack stabilized here, deflected that attack pretty effortlessly, honestly, and his own tier 2's coming up. So, what is AOT going to get done? Those are not tier 2 units, AOT. What are you going to do with that? I don't see a single tier 2 structure. I don't see any excisants.
Nope, nothing.
What's the play?
Well, okay, he's taking this base, which means he can mine it with the advanced workers.
That's
if he has
well
the
worth
gusto
it, for sure. For sure. Makes you wonder, maybe the play is, you know, you don't make any buildings, you just make a bunch of gods for lefts and fly in.
That's right. Not getting scouted just yet. Yes, it's empty, and when you have detection on it, you can click on it and see that there's nothing here, because there's no text.
I like that he sees that, though. Okay, some Godslists are being made, so I assume we'll come and mine over here. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting because you see the tier 2, you see your opponent's tier 2 is done. What is like even a response though? You just kind of go like, oh, that sucks. What do you do about it? You know?
Right, yeah. Well, it's only the Gosvalets, the Lakizilisks, the Quasilisks. That's it. Bit of a one-note situation here. And we're going to see the
He's
harvesters.
making the Calculator Pond. Oh, sorry, no, that's not what it's called anymore, is it?
Yeah, Calculator Lake. It's a pretty close.
Lake. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm belittling it.
No, it's pool, pond, lake. You know, we tried to change it up so that...
What's the tier 3?
Oh,
you know,
ocean, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't mind it, but I would want to see some Kaphralovsks here because I think the best use of it is spamming out those Calculisks. Now, Lyrilisks apparently are not that bad. AOT sort of showed me they're not terrible, but I don't see them coming up these ramps against Bactalists or anything like that. Now, there was the low ground base, but I assume that's what AOT is going to do here because he's got a billion quas. He doesn't have any Kaphralovsks. I can't see him making a bunch of navs.
The Lyrilisks aren't bad in this perspective of the fact that this is a very open map, and they move so fast, like ridiculously fast, ever since they were buffed like some months ago. So,
but they can't outrun a Gladius ball, you know.
That's for nothing can really, nothing can truly.
Sophilov can.
Oh,
by the way,
interesting.
Yeah. Please don't touch. Now,
that's like the worst unit to make versus Gladius. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would be terrible actually. Wouldn't it?
As a one Gorga core here for Manor.
Yeah, I don't know what that's doing there. I mean, I guess if you're trying to bust a ramp, they have some value, but you don't want this against the Lyrilists, against the Lakizialists. Yeah, okay, he very wisely turns around immediately. I was worried he was going to attack in there basically throw, but as it stands, he's just maintaining his presence on the map. Yeah, it's okay.
The chase potential here is going to be pretty high thanks to those Lyrilisks. You can't really see how fast they're moving right now because they're getting slowed down by all the quads, but
yeah,
they're pretty speedy boys.
I like this sort of tactics on display there, though.
It's happening. It's happening.
He's doing it.
I love it. I love it.
AOT has his own Gosval left. Is he going to counter?
Yo, fuck your workers. I have my own workers.
Oh, he's putting a Kendrick.
Yeah.
There's a massive army here, though, so he's going to die.
Exactly.
Oh, he's still going. He's still going.
That's right. Now the problem is, there's all of these gases have been capped. He likes to cap the enemy gas if he can.
Wait a minute. Is that Caveman in the natural even getting attacked? Okay, you can't win that fight.
Yeah, it is now.
Well, this does look kind of silly, but it doesn't actually cost Jack that much. And look at that Cakeman's finishing. Oh my god.
It's turned into a circuit.
Yeah, this is actually not bad because it only cost me like 200 gas or so.
I think Arda Turtle's lost the sauce.
Okay, do you make a spray?
What the hell?
You got to make a spray, right, over there. Oh my god. Look at this dude, he's getting another drive. Oh no, okay, there it is. There is such a free thinking. Okay, meanwhile though, jakulangski does have like 4,000 minerals. That said, his opponent has 30 less workers, so he might still have a similar value in his army here. I'll come and make the spray if I want to see it.
Oh, he forgot about it.
Honestly, big distraction though. And AOT not really catching up on workers during this either. Making some Vorvra cores, which I can't really see what they're very good against in AOT's army, in Jack's army rather. But he is running into Lakizialists. Let's turn these Fs. So, I mean, when you've got 4,000 minerals, honestly, that's kind of worth 20 Fs just to confirm that Lakizialists are still there.
He's still doing it.
All right, he's got the Matrolefs, but I have to say, against this particular army, I think they're not very useful at all.
Yeah, this is a lot. I mean, it's 5k minerals. This is a lot, you know.
Shambler, I remember one game said, like, I knew you were going to go for Matral spam, so he made, like, only Calculisks, and they dealt with that pretty well. And this is kind of the same situation with AOT here as well. He's got so many Quaslists and Lyrilists as well, that I feel like Rillarokors are not going to really exist. The Ensnare could still be something, but it's really not high value. Look at this is still ongoing. And you can try and attack the natural here. Where are the tier 2 units for Jack? That's what I want to know.
I know, yeah. He doesn't really have any. He's got some Bactals, which are 1.5 now. The Matrolit's back at home. 6k minerals in the bank, but chooses to take the fight anyway. Let's see what he can make happen. Those Lyrilisks are slowly bringing down the Gorgs. Quasi's obviously taking a very long time to clear those out. And hey, some of the bounce damage there just killed the Ovaleth, so that could be pretty big because there's no detection for this Lakizalisk. It looks like just barely here. Jack is going to get overwhelmed, and there are more reinforcements in play for Arda Turtle.
Where's the production for Jack? He's making Zephyrcore, which honestly is a waste of lava. He needs Zoyus or something. Some Calculus coming out. Again, I don't think it's a very good option against this composition, though. What I really like to see is Vilgoricores, possibly a Vigoralist, tanky things like that, and just more Hydra-backed behind it would be the best, I think. Even just Zoyus Hydra-backed, I think would be fine against this, but he's making all these sort of fancy units. The Calculists could always counterattack, I suppose, and do massive damage. But in a straight up army fight, I feel like you're going to get deleted.
Oh no, yeah, the Lycizelists are out of position completely. They are going to end up losing the third. Jack is on a really, really rough position over here, but he does have the Matrolets coming. The Calculists are going to be able to do some crowd control.
Well, you know what? I can see this now. With a lot of Velorocores in the front line, Calculists can do a lot of damage here. They're sort of making it work.
Yeah, they're somehow making it happen. The Quasilists are just on a move command, I think.
I mean, it kind of works because they're like distracting the Calculists, but
oh my god. Oh my god, man. He's holding. And the Spire coming for Art of Turtle, so he wants to
There's not enough anti-air left.
I think he wants to go Muta. That could be a big mistake, Neblime. If he goes Muta versus Calc, that will not work out.
If he's thinking of Synchrolisks, I think it's decent, because obviously they'll deal with the Calculus pretty well. But if he does make Mutalisk, he probably instantly loses, and I would not be surprised if Jack just comes across and does insane damage now. Where is AOT's army? Is it just a bunch of Quas and Zeth?
He doesn't have much at this point, yeah. I mean, look, Jack has almost 8,000 minerals, and Art of Turtle is almost at 4,000 gas. I don't know which one is worse in this situation.
If he just spams Izzy's, like, he could win pretty easily. Like, 20 Zerocores. He can afford more than 20, no mistake, but that would be enough. Anyway, it looks like he's going to lose Patros barely.
I don't think so.
This is why I want to be in the game so I can select stuff and not look stupid.
No, all good, all good. That should be on me.
Double the workers.
Double the workers.
In Brood War, I always say workers are the same, Zerg wins the game, but I don't know. I don't have any for Cosmonaut.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to figure that out as, like, you know, for how long can you be at a worker disadvantage? Because Zerg can be like that for a little bit. But so far in our games, they often aren't.
In Brood War, it's like, oh, you've got 70 probes, I've got 30 drones. Yeah, this game's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, huge loss here. Those are so expensive, those killers. A lot of gas falling down. But then again...
Oh, no. Okay, a lot is going to come down to the engagement. What happens with these
and Matrolef as well. That Matrolef.
Oh, the ensnaring brood. Yeah, that's going to basically make this fight completely unwinnable for Art of Turtle. He's going to get run over. Yep. And the Hydras came in from the backstab. I think Jack's got it now. I mean, I don't really see what Art of Turtle can do. With 10k minerals in the bank, I think Jack's going to take us to a game 5. This man doesn't need to spend his money.
Yeah, counterattack going on at his third, but I don't think it's going to break through. Yeah,
the Gauntlet here.
Actually, heroes here. They're doing the lava spotting the Lycizelisk. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the larva spotting the Lycizelisk is a pretty good one. But I think the front gates are over. Nothing that Art can do here. All the mutas have died.
You received my third. I received your main.
Yes. Hey, you can put a Hatteras down here to force them unburrow them. Oh, he's doing it. I think. Ah, there it is. All right. GG called, and that was a very strange game as far as the resource counts were concerned. But we are going to a game 5, Neblime. How do you feel about that?
Oh my god, this is crazy. Anyone can definitely take it. We saw that game. Jack just has superior game knowledge, like straight up.
Yeah.
AOT did not know that Mutalisks were going to be a complete waste against Calculisks. He also probably was not prepared for a bunch of Goswellers playing. And also, I think, you know, misjudged a bit how much his Quasilisk and Lyrilusk could get done. Like I said, I think Lyrilusk are better than I thought, but the Quasilisk definitely pretty helpless attacking up that big ramp.
Yep, have to agree with it. We're going to go to Axiom for the decider, and it's Art of Turtle in the top right, jakulangski in the bottom left. Game 5, guys. Game 5. One of these players will be qualified to the battlement stage of Acropolis numero uno. The other player will be cast down to the loser's bracket, where they'll have to face Taco Cake for more ZVZ action.
That's right. There's another predator sort of waiting to feast on the corpse here. Axiom, our final map, the best map in Cosmetics, so that's objective fact, by the way. Anyone watching this cast, just confirmed.
That's right, that's right.
So, ooh, it's a pool! I love it! If AOT goes hatch on the low ground, boom, you're in battlements. But will he? That's the question.
He hasn't done that at all this whole time, yeah?
Has he not?
No, AOT's always been, like, hatch into pool.
That is nowhere close to true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we didn't see Convolisks. We didn't see Vilgoricores.
We haven't seen any Alkaid Eteth units at all.
Yeah, the Eteth was made but not actually used.
No Sycralisks, no Protathalors, no Vilgalefs, not Vilgalefs, what am I saying? No Vithrilisks.
Oh yeah, no Vithrilisks, right? And no Tetzoricores for that matter. So.
It's hatch in base. Now, I think the best thing here, it's kind of confusing, but I think the best thing to do is you make 6 Zephs, and you just kind of pressure your opponent into making like circus and stuff, but don't actually like try and kill them. Oh,
it's a quasi.
I don't know about Overlef. What is he doing with that? If he makes Circuff on the ramp, maybe this is good, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
Well, it's coming a lot faster, and obviously the worker count's going to start to hit.
Wait, does this get to your opponent's base faster if you fly there?
I think on this map that might be the case, yeah, because it's like a diagonal path. But he's going to take the ground path, so I wonder what he's doing with that then.
Yeah, now he's making only quads, which I think is important that you kind of go all out here if you're not going to do the Zeph thing I was talking about.
Yeah, this is basically an all-in. Jack has no follow-up hatch.
Maybe you distract him from the ramp with the overleft. That could be huge. Because you will have the Zeph count for some period of time at least. The problem is AOT is going to have a big lava advantage. He has already saved 3 lava, which is interesting they did that blind. Maybe he just anticipated. Because yeah, if you sometimes want to just keep droning because you're thinking, oh, if my opponent's going hatch first as well, I want to get as many draw out. But this is the worst case scenario for Jack, really. Hatch on the high ground, full lava saving, even an overleft coming for AOT. Well, but he gets here before they hatch. If he can camp the spawn, they're already out. And he files in single file.
Yeah, that's a real tight one. SimCity, you can't lose a single quaz in this situation if you're in Jack's shoes, and unfortunately he's about to lose 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he can tank with the Ovelette, the classic move. Could make it happen.
Oh, he needs to abandon any ideas of attacking. I think he needs to throw out his expansion. Oh, he's going to go to the Focus Fire at least. Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
I love how they both just have an overlap going back.
I know, yeah. And there's 2 workers over here for AOT, but he's got way more workers back at home anyway. So
Jack
still a 3-worker advantage.
Hatros, man. If he doesn't throw down Hatros, he's done.
Yeah, what can you do with only quaz? He's streaming more and more of them out. At some point, he floated a lot of larva.
We have an overlap to drop here. You can actually overcome defenses, but
no.
Yeah, AOT has the count. Ooh, drop my crow, but it's kind of counterproductive actually. But whatever.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario. Your opponent has more workers, more production, and more units now.
He did get the Hatros down, so maybe he can just go back and defend here. We'll be on low grounds, get that Circuff up. The game can go on, but definitely huge disadvantage for AOT. Sorry, for Jack here.
Yeah, bringing the K-Grin down too.
Ooh,
I mean, he's got 15 quads. Like, there's really no hope here for Jack, it feels like. I think you're right about the Zeth play. The Zeths hit way harder, and you can actually camp the eggs, like you were sort of suggesting.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, you don't expect to win with 6 Zeths. Like, they just can't even kill all the draw left, right?
Right.
But you just do enough that you can get your Hatchrosk and, like, distract your opponent off that you're actually ahead. And you'd be surprised what you can do with 7 draw left, right? It's actually not that extreme. But yeah, the Causeless take too long to get there, especially on this map, right? And now he's back to defending. Now he has the choke with a good concave if AOT comes in too brashly, which he sort of is. Jack's not set up very well, though. Oh, and the overleft's still there with the K-Grunt. Oh, man, no, he's losing this Hatcheros for sure.
Yep, turned it into a circuit. Brutal. There's a very, very short timer on this attack, and there's way more Quasis here for AOT. So this hatch is dead. There will not be an expansion, and I think AOT's going to take it. I think he's going to battlements, boys.
Yeah, he's only got 1 hatch in base as well. No gas to speak of. Does get those Quasis out, which is kind of cool. I don't know how they survive.
Surprising.
Come on, Quasis, you can do it.
Yeah, listen, if only this hatch was like in Starcraft 2 and it created all the brood spawn.
I don't know if that'd be enough.
No. No. Might get 1 pair out. No. This gets 1 single.
Yeah, you can make it. Oh, you can get up the ramp.
Not any cancel though. That's a lot of lost minerals. He's gonna see if he can hold with this desperate attempt. His battlement's dream starting to fade, but is it going to be enough? I think maybe AOT has it here. He just needs to push up a little bit farther and maybe focus fire his units a little bit better. He's tried to use the Oveleth for the little distraction there, but all right, Jack holds on for a little bit longer.
The sad thing is here, you still can't bust that circuit though. Like,
I know, yeah.
You won't be able to bust that circus for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, listen, if there were 6 extra Quasis that got made somehow and you dropped them over here, you'd have a chance, but that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, that would be huge. But no, not now. Oh, Jack's still trying to come down here. I think he needs to accept that he can't face the Circuff and just have a plan for staying up this ramp a while. Not that I know what on earth that would be. In fact, he's getting a Circuff way back there, which is a big mistake. It's not really doing anything for him. Like, AOT will just go around this. But still, AOT really not respecting the ramp very much at all. Kind of getting shredded here.
The bloodiest ramp of all time, but I think he's finally made the break. The circuit is done, but you can go around it like you were suggesting.
Yeah, and I could just camp the mineral line. Oh, well, let's get some damage. Again, this overlap has kind of just been flying around with the army all the time. I guess it caught the K-Grit, but other than that...
Jack, no! Jack, you let him in! Jack, you let him in! Yeah. All right. Well, I think we saw where this one was going to go for a while. AOT in complete control of the game.
He's not giving up.
I know. I know.
He doesn't want to let go that easily. Oh, look, he's going to evacuate. See you later.
5 workers. My man, this is Brood Wars EVZ.
Hey, look, man, if Jadon can win from 1 drone, Jack can do it from 5.
You know what? Maybe if he turned into Jadon here and also knew what the game was.
Yeah, just well, if he turned into Jadon who doesn't know what the game is, he's like, what the fuck? And yeah, probably worse than Jack.
Yeah, I know. He'd be reading the text the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. You're like hovering over units, like Morph Quasilis.
Yeah. And they say you? What's going on here?
I think even without enemy Quasilis there, you couldn't kill that Circuit. How many does it take on its own?
I don't know. It took like 12 or 15 or something like that for Artiturtle to bust one earlier on Impetus. So. Yeah. Den coming now. AOT's going to finish it nice and easy, but it feels like a foregone conclusion. And you know what? I still think, though, you have to give Jack favor if he is going to go down to this lower bracket and face Taco Cake, because taking AOT to 5 games is no small feat, right?
Oh, yeah, huge. And honestly, like, conceptually coming in, I think that 7 pool was a great choice. He just didn't really know how to use it. Oh, God, he's going to drop again.
Yeah, it looks like
I was going to say, I wonder how long Jack could hold out on just 1 base if we really want to just drag this out. Like, what's the max he can pull off?
I know, yeah. Could we be locked in for another 15 minutes?
I mean, you get some Hydras out, it's going to be hard to get in here.
Well, conversely, Artiturtle's Hydras are going to be a lot faster. So those will be hitting the deck pretty soon. He has a worker coming down. Is he going to man or take his own his enemy's natural as his 3rd base? I do think that AOT, if he can practice up his understanding of the tier 2 knowledge, that's probably the main thing. Because when we get to that point, we could see that Jack definitely had the advantage on Germination, for example.
Definitely. And even when he finished his tier 2, it seemed like he didn't really even know what to do.
Yeah, he made the Zorkis and kept making Lakizilisks, right? So, all right, Jack, you need to respond immediately to this intrusion. He's going to lose another worker, I think. Yeah, at least 1 more. So that is a little
double workers happens a lot, but triple workers is not good. Is that a ski back morphing right now, by the way?
Yes, that's correct. Artiturtle's going to go for the ski back.
He's kind of playing into Jack just turtling in 1 base, though. He's just also going to build the defenses. Like,
yeah, this has turned into a K-Grid, a secondary K-Grid. What the heck? I thought that would be a hatch or something. I guess technically you could snipe it, but still.
Of course, Jack doesn't have the knowledge of how many workers his opponent has here.
34, yeah. Well, he's going to go for the drop, the counter drop.
He just has to kill 23 draw left, and then he's back in the game.
That's right, that's right. He also needs to finish his den, get a ski back or some other comparable tech.
Yep.
You know?
They take his expansion.
Yep.
Kill his opponent's army.
Yeah. Maybe dismantle 1 or 2 hatches so that he's even on production. Yeah. All this off of one hatch, by the way. So
now, AOT, I think his knowledge lacking here a bit as well. The backlists aren't really very good, actually, against attacking up ramps, against static defense like that. He'd be better served just by making more Hydralisk, I think. Yes. Or just getting some Zoyus or something like that. Or even just Overlords. If you just drop all over the high ground, you can bust it pretty easily with Hydralisk. Look at this, here comes the Quasilis drop.
Is this going to just make AOT pull the trigger is the question. He's going to cycle his own Quasis back.
He can still win a morale victory if AOT rage quits. It's still possible.
Oh, no, the drill. He scoops up 4 out of 6 Quasis. The other 2 have been bopped elsewhere.
Like, say AOT tries to dust this base for 10 minutes and fails. Would he quit? Oh, look at this! He drops in there with the circuit. That's kind of cool. But
yeah, what did he do? I guess he killed the circuit and then dropped a K-Grid down here for like drop support, basically.
Yeah,
this one Quasi still over here with 3 kills.
That definitely did huge damage, by the way. It's not enough, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, if your opponent just keeps letting their guard down, we do have Hydras out for Jack. I did not think we were going to get to this point, but a back
10 minutes in the game, he's getting his 2nd Hatcheros. I guess it's his 3rd, but his 2nd living Hatcheros.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, once Jack has like 10 Hydras, he can easily deal this, but how's he going to make that with 1 Hatcheros? Oh, here we go. Now he's starting to take that out, and Hydras will deal that easily enough. Ooh, Burrow Micro, very nice. Needs to just keep loading up and sending stuff. That's the only way he can possibly win here, is if he keeps just dropping and killing draw lefts.
I know, yeah. He's still down by a factor of 2, so it's a little rough.
Look, man, I was thinking the same thing, like this is 100% over, but now I'm kind of thinking like, maybe this is 99% over, because AOT could just try and like A-move in and lose everything to the circus, and like he wouldn't actually have lost the game if he does that, but he might think he has. And then
I see. Well, he sent in 4 Overlats, so this is... We're looking pretty full here. We're looking pretty full. There's Quasis, Bactyls, Hydras.
You know, counterintuitively, I think the best thing to do would actually be drop on the circus, but either way. Oh, look at that. He's even making more defenses over there. But yeah, I think he can just drop anywhere and kill with this. But is he going to do it?
That's right. He has no knowledge of where the Ovoleths are. So
here he comes.
Yeah, the Doom drop to finish the game. The rest of the units charging up the ramp, maybe helplessly, but they are kind of forcing the attention of Jack's units. Meanwhile, his economy is reduced back to 5. GG will be called. The writing on the wall. AOT heads to battlements with a score of 3-2.
All right, wow, what a series. Interesting end, I'll say that.
Yeah, it was drawn out a little bit, but hey, you got to try. You got to see what you can make happen.
So, Newt and Jack are upper calls, you know? Not Jack, I wish. That's my wishful thing. Newt and AOT are upper calls. No big surprise there. We definitely knew AOT coming into this had the skills, right? But Jack gave him a run for his money, no doubt.
Yeah, by the way, that means that we have Taco Cake and Jack facing off for lower qual number 2, and lower qual number 1 is yet again 3Crow versus General Anakin. So some PvP and some ZVZ for our second or our third and fourth series to decide who gets out. And in retrospect, right, whoever wins those sets, I think if they had to play an additional set after to decide who actually goes through as like the third qualifier, that probably would have been smarter because, you know, like the strength of schedule, so to speak, the strength of opponent that you face. I wonder if, like, okay, if 3Crow makes it in, for example, which he's definitely favored in his series, and he does so by beating General Anakin twice, basically, as well as, you know, it was cool to see him beat Benno, but you know, Benno and General Anakin, should that mean, you know, that you qualify? Maybe you have to play against another person. Likewise, though, I can't really say the same thing about Taco Cake. He's just gone through a murderer's row of people in the lower bracket and made it in. So yeah, that's a real legit fight for the ZVZ one. And 3Crow should be favored versus General Anakin, just like Jack should be favored versus Taco Cake. But I think there's still play there. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But I don't want to say anything about General Anakin. You know, I still haven't seen him play, and I mean, 2-0 bit of Bitty B is no joke.
That's right. That's right.
Not everyone can do that. But 3Crow, on the other hand, well, I want to say he's like pulling something out here and playing really well. And he 2-0 General Anakin once already, but he didn't look very strong against Newt. But that might just be more about Newt than 3Crow.
Yeah, I think so. At least that's my gut reaction. My gut feeling is that that's more of a Newt strength than a 3Crow weakness. But it does give you a bit of a blueprint for how to defeat him if you just go for really strong macro play and try to overwhelm him. If you don't end up suffering too much versus his non-standard silly cheese stuff. Something that I don't know if you were privy to the conversation that was happening in our talk channel earlier in Neblime, but Veek was actually saying that he thinks 3Crow could win a lot of stuff if he just shaped up his actual macro part. And I guess that kind of is like a nicer way of saying what you were saying, where some people make workers and some people don't, right? So it's kind of interesting to think about that. But either way, we'll get more into the meal of that when we cast that series. Any final words about AOT versus Jack over here that we just saw?
I'm gutted that my boy didn't make it through, but he's still got a chance.
Still got a chance. Maybe even a good chance. All right, well, in that case, join us for 3Crow versus General Anakin up next. And to close out the whole Gauntlet A, we will, of course, be seeing none other than Jakulangski having another try at the matchup of ZVZ to see if he can make it into battlements after all. GG.